Hi, welcome back. This is Kim Reads and Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about some recent releases and upcoming ones that I thought sounded really interesting and I've added to my TBR. We have 7 books to talk about, and I'm going to start with the oldest published date because there's, like I said, there's some that were recently released that I have only just heard about through doing this research and I'm interested and have added to my TBR, all the way to the latest pub date. So we'll start from oldest to newest. Yeah, it'll make sense eventually. So starting with Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. The pub date on this was actually August 1st of this year, and it's a fiction and contemporary. Essentially, in spring of 2020, during COVID, Laura and her 3 daughters returned to their family's orchard in northern Michigan. During this time, apparently their mother tells them all about Peter Duke, who is a famous actor with whom she shared both a stage and a romance at a theater called Tom Lake, hence the title of the book. As Laura is telling her daughters about it, they examine their own lives and relationships and are reconsidering the world and everything they thought they knew. It's a meditation on love, married love, and lives parents have led before their children were born. And apparently the audiobook is narrated by Meryl Streep, so that's pretty cool. This is also a Reese's Book Club pick, and I find Reese's Book Club picks for myself have been super hit or miss, but it sounds really interesting, and it's set in COVID, which I think is pretty unique as well. Okay, so the next one I think everybody's probably heard about by now. This was released on September 5th of this month, and that's The September House by Carissa Orlando, and this is like a thriller, a mystery fiction type novel. Margaret and Hal buy a house, but eventually they find out that it's haunted. Every September, the walls apparently drip blood, and ghosts of former inhabitants appear, and the ghosts themselves are terrified of what lurks in the basement. So the scary things are scared of whatever is supposed to be in the basement, which sounds really interesting. Margaret wants to stay, but Hal wants to leave after 4 years of enduring this. Margaret and Hal's daughter, Catherine, arrive, not knowing anything about what is going on, but is there to help look for her missing dad. Apparently he left and just like ghosted everybody. He's avoiding calls, he's avoiding communication, and it seems that Margaret and Catherine set out to find Hal. So I'm not quite sure, but I what kind of grabbed me was that the ghosts are scared of whatever is in the basement. So I'm interested to see how this all turns out. It's really gaining a lot of traction and seems really popular right now. So depending on when I post this video, every book from here on out might already have been published or is going to be published. The next one is going to be published on September 12th of 2023, and it's a romance called You Again by Kate Goldbeck. The synopsis grabbed my attention right away. It sounds really unique. It's an enemies to lovers, and we're following Ari and Josh, and they hate each other when they meet. Ari is a comedian and likes to keep things really casual. Josh is a chef and wants to find the one and get married. The two have absolutely nothing in common except they're sleeping with the same woman. What? Years later, they cross paths again and develop a friendship that involves like apparently Netflix binges, swiping through each other's online dating profiles, and general friendship bickering. Their friendship is great until the lines begin to blur. Apparently it has sizzling chemistry and explores the dynamics of co-ed friendships. I think that sounds pretty cool. So the next one is Never Whistle at Night, and it is an Indigenous dark fiction anthology and will be published on September 19th. It's a short story collection from a variety of Indigenous authors and is introduced and contextualized by Stephen Graham Jones. Their stories are a celebration of Indigenous people's survival and imagination, and glorious revealing in all things an ill-advised whistle might summon. I think that sounds really cool to me and really spooky, so I'm excited about that. The next one is going to be published on September 26th, and that is Penance by Eliza Clark. It's shelled as like a crime fiction literary on Goodreads. 10 years ago, a girl was murdered, and her story is being told by Eliza Clark with the help of Alec Z. Corelli, who is a journalist. Clark allows Alec to construct what he claims to be a definitive account of the murder and what led up to it. It's getting really high reviews so far, and this is the same author of Boy Parts, which is on my TBR, but apparently is also a very good novel. The last 2 books I'm going to be talking about are both going to be published on October 10th. The first one is What We Keep to Ourselves by Nancy June Kim. It's a dual timeline. It's fiction, literary, mystery. It sounds really interesting. Dual timelines always get me. I think that they read really quickly, and I like the pacing that dual timeline brings. So in one timeline in 1999, the Kim family is struggling with the disappearance of their mother, Sunny, who vanished a year ago. John, her husband, is more isolated from his children now than ever, and he finds a body in their backyard carrying a letter to Sunny, which leaves them with more questions about their mother and this stranger. And then flashback to 1977, Sunny, who is the mother and the wife, is pregnant and moved to LA from Korea. Her husband is aloof and life is not what she expected it to be in America. She is lonely and feeling isolated. But this is broken by a chance encounter at a bus stop where she develops a connection that spans decades and echoes to present day as her family is uncovering secrets. It's apparently a riveting page-turner in moving family history. The last one is Family Meal by Bryan Washington. And again, this is released on October 10th. And this is a fiction in like a contemporary, just general fiction kind of category. So we're following Cam, and he's recently lost the love of his life, Kai. Apparently, Kai's ghost visits him and won't leave him alone. Cam goes back to his hometown where he encounters TJ, a former best friend. I think it's about them coming back together as friends. It says, can they find a way past all that has been said and unsaid to save each other? Could they find a way back again to being okay again, maybe for the first time? So it sounds like it's going to be hard-hitting, maybe some commentary around grief, really good portrayals of lost friendships and found friendships again. So yeah, that's all the recent and upcoming releases that I'm pretty excited about. My library, I noticed, has a lot of these on order, so I've got my spot in line to wait for those to become available to me through my library, so I'm pretty excited. Let me know if there's any releases upcoming or recent ones that you're really interested in reading and have added to your TBR. But thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you all have a great day. Okay, bye.